Hello everyone, my name is Kathy and this is my channel Train Up a Child Homeschooling, and I made this video to give a review on the social studies curriculums that I have tried and that I am currently using. This review is for the Scott Foresman Social Studies People and Places all together, and also Masterbooks My Story in the World Around Me Book 1. So I am going to go ahead and start with the review. For kindergarten, my daughter used the social studies from Scott Foresman all together. Now this is a textbook, so this is actually like you see that? It's like actually from like a school. But I purchased it used online. I don't think they do this one in particular anymore in the schools. This one, I purchased it used online, and it is meant for a first grader, but I used it for kindergarten and it worked just great. But at least it worked for my daughter. I mean, I don't know. It depends on, on any, I'm sure not all children are the same, but at least for my daughter, this particular curriculum worked great for her. So these are the things that it covers. It covers reading, social studies, alike and different, welcome to my neighborhood, different kinds of communities, special things we do. It also throws in there not only social studies, but also some history. Like right here, we're going to learn about a biography of Jane Addams. Let me zoom in that there a little bit. Also here, it's another biography by Harry Flagler. And so it touches up on a lot of different biographies. Look, George Washington Carver, Clara Barton. So we really enjoyed that about this curriculum, because it not only did social studies, but it also did some geography and then also some history. So this is what it looks like on the inside. This is not the beginning of the book though, yet, not yet. This is just like what's in the, before the start of the book. It has some neat little things, like some regions on the earth. It has some neat little information about globes, maps. And then here, this is actually where the lessons begin. This particular curriculum also comes with a teacher's edition. So it comes with like a teacher's manual. Now, I did not buy that. I don't feel... I did this curriculum like a whole year and I didn't really feel the need to have one. But there is another curriculum review regarding this particular, the same Scott Foresman. And the mom does have the teacher's manual. So I can probably put a link to her review video in the description under the video. So that way you can check it out if you wish to look at the teacher's manual. But I really felt like it was not necessary. So this is the beginning of a lesson. So pretty much me and my daughter, we just start with the lesson. We sing the little song. There's a little song here. And then we look at the vocabulary words, pictures for the vocabulary words. And then we just continue to read. We'll read this and that. Andrew at school, getting to know this particular boy. Look, a biography, meet Carl's thoughts. So we'll just read through, and then whenever we feel like stopping, we'll stop. And look, I don't necessarily do like, okay, one lesson per day. I really don't. I just read through the book. We just go through it. I mean, it's not going to take you all year to do this. I was able to finish this book in about half a year. And that's because my daughter, she really, really enjoyed doing social studies. So she didn't want me to stop reading. She wanted me to keep going. So but I just read through, and then whenever we feel like stopping, we'll just stop, and then we'll do our worksheet that comes in the workbook, which you have to buy separately. You can also find this online as well. Now, to purchase the textbook, I bought it online, used. There's different websites that you can get it from. I don't remember the exact website where I got it from, but I mean, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it on, thriftbooks.com, different used book websites. If you just type it in on Google, I'm sure you'll be able to find the website that has it. Look, another biography. So this teaches about history, which is really great. We really enjoyed it. How a community has changed. And then it has like little things to do with your child. And it'll also have comprehension questions. that you can ask your child after you just read, you know, whatever they had for you to read here. Chinese New Year, community laws and leaders. Now this is meant to be for a first grader, like I said, but I did this with my daughter in kindergarten, and it worked out great. But I know that I will probably not be doing this with my son for kindergarten because he's just different than my daughter. He'll probably be ready for this in first grade. So, you know, every child is different, but this is meant for first grader. Now, as you can see, you know, the people in the book, they're dressed. You can definitely tell this is from quite a few years ago by the way people are dressed, probably from like the 90s and stuff like that. I don't know when this book was made. Well, here it says 2018, but these people do not look like they're dressed from 2018. I mean, you can just tell like the style of the way people are dressed, that it was probably from like 20, 30 years ago. But I mean, it's fine. It still applies today, you know. I mean, it's not like this. Look here, we talked about Native American objects. The colonies became free. So this curriculum was very thorough. It was very I really appreciated it because it covered a lot of topics. So one book covered history, social studies, and it also covered a little bit of geography. The telephones, the history of the telephones. So this was for social studies altogether. Now this comes with a workbook that you have to buy separately. It looks a little bit like this. Now this is not the workbook that goes with this one, because this one is for people and places. This one is called Altogether. Now I don't have the workbook for this because my daughter already finished kindergarten. So we, you know, I take out the pages from the books and I add them to my daughter's weekly binder. So I don't have those the workbook anymore like in one piece. It's all like kind of like in my daughter's portfolio and stuff like that. But I do have the one for second grade. Well, it's supposed to be for second grade, but we're using it for first grade. So I do have that one. So I'm gonna show it to you guys. But they're pretty much, they look pretty similar. And I was also able to buy this online. I don't remember. I think the book costed me about $30, and I think the worksheet costed me about like 15 bucks. I'm not sure, but you can find these online as well. Okay, so this was for first grade or kindergarten, depending how your child is. You can try it out. Now this is the Scott Foresman People and Places. This is the social studies curriculum that's meant to be for second graders. So let me go ahead and give you a look into the workbook first. Now I've already taken some of these pages out because we already started, but there's still some here that I can show you. So this is what the worksheets look like. Now you're gonna see here, this is why also I didn't think a teacher's manual was very necessary. Right here it tells you, you're gonna, this particular worksheet, you're gonna use it with pages 126 to 129. And that's talking about the teachers, or the textbook, sorry. That's talking about the textbook. So that's telling you that from pages 126 to 129, which is called talking about a trip to the bank, right? That's talking about money, right? If you read those pages, do this worksheet. So, that's pretty much self-explanatory right there. And this is A Trip to the Bank. It has the same title. So, just read the book, then open up your workbook, and then just look on the top. Okay, this is the worksheet I'm supposed to do because I read those pages. And that's it. You're good to go. So that's why I felt like a teacher's manual was not necessary. So this is what the pages in the workbook look like. You're gonna notice that the pages are not your typical white pages. You know, they're more like a cream color because this is an old curriculum. So, the pages definitely look old. But, I really enjoy this curriculum. Regardless of the pages look, it's a really solid social studies curriculum. Really solid. And, there's a lot of information here. There's a map grid, the land of freedom. And there's not that many worksheets either. There's really not. Like from pages, there's like one worksheet for every few pages that you read. 180 to 183, 184 to 185. So there's really not that many pages to do, many worksheets. But I think it was very, very, very good. And that's why we went ahead and chose this as well for my daughter's first grade year. We really enjoyed this one. And they have a third grade social studies as well, which we'll most likely be getting to. And so this is the second grade social studies from Scott Foresman. So like it pretty much has the same layout as the first grade one. In the beginning of the book, it has some neat little information about geography, the globe again. This book covers pretty much almost the same exact things as this one covered, but it's all about repetition because there's only so much social studies you can really teach. I mean, social studies is about about society, about the way our country is and the way people live. I mean, we covered a lot of that in the first grade one. So now here they're just reinforcing what they've already learned. So that's the way that I see it. But it covers a lot of the same things, but of course it's not the same exact word for word information that we covered in the other group. It's spoken differently now. So you're seeing it added from a different perspective. You're learning about it with, I guess, it's a different type of lesson for the same topic. So it's just to reinforce what they've already learned. They probably are teaching a few different things in this particular grade. I'm not sure. They might be. I just like kind of skimmed through the index, but it kind of looks like the same stuff. Look here, it's a biography. So the second grade also has the biographies, which my daughter really enjoyed those. She loves learning about people that lived a long time ago. She loves history. And it's really beautiful. It's very colorful. It's very captivating. It's great. And they teach the vocabulary words with a picture. So I think that's great, especially for a child to really understand what the word means. It's better to do it with a picture. Another biography, Cesar Chavez. What Chavez is that? Oh, he was born here. He's American. I thought it's the one from Venezuela. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. And it has like a graph information, and look, and it'll have these questions that you would be asking your child, and just they can answer either by, sometimes it'll have have them draw things, like here it says draw and label 3 landforms. Sometimes it'll just be like, they have to answer verbally to you. We workers in our community. Another biography. So these biographies are kind of just spread out through the curriculum. I don't think they have to do it with anything in particular as to the lesson. I'm not sure. Fire engine, look how cool that is. This curriculum is fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. We really enjoyed it. It's very thorough, has a lot of information. It covers a lot of topics. Like, I have not seen another social studies curriculum that is as thorough as this one. I've not, especially not for first grade or kindergarten, for sure, or even second grade. The social studies curriculum that I've seen for first graders and for kindergartners are like super easy. I mean, and I get it, that's probably will be good enough for a first grader or kindergarten. But if you have a child that loves to learn about things like this and is hungry for more, then this is it, because this has more for them. This is definitely gonna expand their imagination and their knowledge about all these different topics that they're actually interested in. Look, the federal government. Another, a Supreme Court Justice biography here. Susan B. Anthony, another biography. Martin Luther King. My daughter loves learning about Martin Luther King and the social rights movement. The racial justice movement. Sorry. The first Americans. colonies, 13 colonies, 1 country. So it's absolutely great. We'll be learning about all this stuff this year. So this is it. And like I said, you can find this online used. So just type in the name on Google and type in used. I don't think they sell these new anymore. So that's what I did. And another review that I'm gonna be doing today, it's regarding the My Story and the World Around Me book 1 from Masterbooks. Now this particular social studies curriculum, I really wanted to enjoy it. I really wanted to like it because it is very cost effective. I think this only costed me like $30. You know, the worksheets are already built into the workbook. So it's a worksheets, text, everything is in there. But it's just, I don't know, my daughter didn't enjoy it. And I guess it's because there's a lot of repetition in it. And you're gonna see what I'm talking about. So this is kind of like, it takes you, it's like you're on a quest, right? Your child is having like this quest where they're traveling the world and finding out all these different, you know, concepts of social studies worldwide. So you are gonna cover some geography here. Give me one moment, please. Sorry, that was my daughter or somebody knocking on my door. So with this particular curriculum, it starts with My World starts with the family. So you're going to read this to your child. You're going to read that and this. It is a faith-based curriculum. I do want to add that. Scott Foresman is not. But, you know, you can easily add God into any curriculum, even if it's secular. But this does talk about God a lot. It talks about the Bible and things like that. So I really enjoyed that about this. So here's what are some reasons God created a family, who in your life could you be nicer to, and why. And then it'll have an activity time to make up. It says here, make up a scene in which you're arguing with your brother or sister or friend, and think of a way to make it better. Okay, and that's great and everything. And then it'll always have a coloring page. And this is one of the reasons why I thought my daughter was gonna love this curriculum, because it has a coloring pages, lots of coloring pages, but she just wasn't feeling the coloring every single time. Like, okay, every time we do social studies, I'm gonna have to color something, you know. And then it'll have a little bit more information. Now this is meant to be a 5-day study, and it'll tell you right here in the top. I should have said that from the beginning. So here, this is the beginning of lesson 1, and then it'll have here lesson 1, day 1. So you're supposed to do this with your child. And then this one's day 2. So this is lesson 1, but day 2, day 3, and then day 5. And then that would be the end. Of course, you can definitely make this a 4-day, you know, a 4-day social studies, or even 3 days or 2 days. I mean, you can definitely work around that because the lessons are very, very short. Now, my daughter, this is one of the things my daughter did not like about this curriculum, and it's the what is this called? A word find puzzle, I think that's what it's called. That's what it says here. These are in every single lesson. Every single lesson has a coloring page, and it has a word time puzzle. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know too many first graders that do these type of things. I don't know, and this is meant for first grade. I don't know too many first graders that do these type of things, word find puzzles. I don't know too many first graders that are good at doing word find puzzles. So that was, my daughter was not interested in doing that. And then at the end of the lesson, they'll do a journal. You know, that it'll kind of talk about a few things that we talked about in the lesson. Since lesson number 1 is about you and your family, the questions are about you and your family. This is lesson number 2. You read the first. The information that's actually in these pages, you know, the parts that you read to your child, I think it's pretty good. You know, I think the information that is given is nice and simple, and compact. It's relevant. I like it. I really enjoyed the information that was given. I just didn't enjoy the activities that were provided for the child. Another coloring page. My daughter didn't do this one. And another word find puzzle. And then it also includes copy work. And then at the end, you have your My Story journal. And then it continues. Information in the beginning. A picture here. Sorry about that. So I'm back. And so it has another coloring page. And they're very nice coloring pages, don't get me wrong. I mean, if your child loves to color, and my child does love to color. She enjoys coloring. But she did not want to color at every single lesson that we did regarding social studies. I mean, of course, it wouldn't be every single lesson because there are other things to do, like copy work, this amazing word find puzzle, you know. But she just didn't really, I thought she would enjoy it, but I was wrong. And this is My Story journal, which again, it asks you questions like, what is the name of your street? What is the mayor's name? And what does your mayor do? Can you name some of the birds you see outside your house? Because in this particular lesson, they talked about, Jesus talked about us looking at the birds and learning from them about God's love. So that's talking about the sparrows. And then, of course, talking about the city and talking about the mayor. So that's why it's asking you here at the end of the lesson to see if you're you know, comprehensive questions to ask your child. Now, could this curriculum maybe work for my son, who will be in first grade in a few years? Maybe. But it just didn't work for my daughter, so we stopped using it, and that's when I went ahead and bought the second grade for Scott Foresman, because this was after I already had done Scott Foresman first grade in kindergarten, and then in first grade I decided to try this out because it is more cost effective, and I wanted to give it a try. But then I just ended up like, you know what, we're gonna go back to Scott Foresman. So I went ahead and got grade 2, and we're currently doing grade 2. So this is what it looks like on the inside. I personally, I do enjoy it. I do think that there could be more questions to really ask the child to see if they really understood what was taught in the lesson. But there isn't much of that. I mean, there are some questions, like right here, what are some of the reasons that cities and states and countries need good leaders? What makes it special for people who get to vote for their leaders? I guess it does have it, but it's just not the same as this. You know what I'm saying? Like here, there's a lot more activities to do, a lot more stuff. It goes really like in depth, you know. There's just a lot more stuff. It's different. It's definitely more different, more in depth, more. It's just not busy work, because I kind of feel like some of this stuff was busy work, like the coloring is busy work. The word find puzzle, like this is social studies. Where are we doing a word find puzzle? Like, you know, like this should be safe for like maybe critical thinking or maybe like a logic skill or something like that. But this you know, I don't understand why this is here. And then the rest is just copy work, you know. So it's kind of like busy work. But I guess this is good enough for a first grader. I mean, like for a first grader, you know, you don't have to go really hard with the social studies. You really don't. You know, with first grade, the main things you got to focus on is reading and math. Everything else, you know, you can go, you know, it can be very very easy, you know, very laid back. But, you know, since my daughter does love social studies a lot and she wants more from it, I felt like this book was lacking in those areas, because it was just me reading to her pretty much, because she wasn't coloring and she wasn't doing this. So, and that's 2 activities that she's not doing. All that's left is just the copy work, and that's it. So that's just my take on that. But I will continue to do a flip through of this. But besides that, I think this is good, you know, for maybe other children. It just didn't work for mine, for my daughter, but it might work for my son. I'm not sure. I'll try it with him. And it does cover, it talks about the United States, about social studies in the United States, and then they begin to travel. These children, they start traveling all around, and here it shows you all the different places that you're going to visit. All the little black dots are the different places they're going to visit. So here is my train through America, and they also use different means of transportation. Here they're using a train. So they also, your children will also get to learn about transportation. Here, look, now they're going through Mexico and Central America. So this is a good book, like if you want to supplement, since this does cover geography a little bit, you can supplement this book with, like, if you have like some type of map, or if you have an atlas or things like that, it would be great to supplement the book with that. So here they talked about trains, a helicopter, and here, are they still in Mexico? I'm not sure. And you know, the pictures are really nice. I really wanted my child to enjoy this, but she didn't. This is, now they're in South America. So you see, it's really great. You know, that's why I really wanted to try this out with her, because it looks amazing. Except for this word find, I really don't care too much for that. But I really like the pictures. I like the information. It's short and sweet. You know, it's not like too much stuff. Okay, let me go a little bit more forward. Oh, here I guess they're talking about the Vikings. See? Seaplane. Oh, they're going on a seaplane. I guess that's what those are called. Seaplane. Never heard of those. Skiing across Canada. That's great. A moose. Oh, here, look, they're making paper, I think. Yes, they're making paper. It says paper right there. Oh, and also, if you notice all these words that are highlighted yellow, that's because they want, all the words that are highlighted, they want for your child to write them in little index cards. And at the end of the week, you're supposed to review those vocabulary words with them. So they're meant to be vocabulary words. So that's why they're highlighted. That's why it's called Word Collector. Can you find all the yellow highlighted words from the week for your word collector? Go back over this week's pages and write those words on your 3x5 cards. So like you know, like index cards. Can you read the words, or can you spell them if your teacher says them out loud? Russia. So I really like this, but I mean, yeah, this is like more like a international social studies curriculum, because it did cover like a national social studies, you know, information and stuff like that, but then it went international. So, and that's really cool. I really, you know, that really drew me to this. And the pictures are wonderful too. They're really beautiful. And even the coloring pages are really nice too. Quest collector card. So, yeah, I mean, I like this curriculum, you know. I'm sure it will work for many families. Many families have said many wonderful things about it. You know, I wish my child had liked it. Oh, she just went through the book and just decided to color that one because she liked the little girl. And that's it. And this is this curriculum. I'm just showing the front. In the front, it does have, tell you exactly, or it gives you a daily schedule right here. It gives you a daily schedule. So it tells you exactly, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. It tells you exactly what you have to do. But it also says that in the top right of the page. And it tells you can write the due date, the grade here. I never use these things, at least not for such a young child, but it's good for you to know if you do like to use things like that. And then in the beginning here, or to tell you, it has lessons should take approximately 30 minutes per lesson, 5 days a week for 36 weeks. The answer keys for the puzzles are included. I think they're all the way in the back. Quizzes are included for each quest. And this is designed for grades 1 and 2. And then the worksheets are also included, which you've seen them. So that's my review of this particular, my story, and the Scott Foresman social studies curriculum. So I just wanted to show that to you guys because I know there's not too many videos about them. So thank you for watching and have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. God bless you.